Mm. How y'all doing? What up, fam? What up, fam? Supreme Risings. Y'all call me jamming out right now. I gotta switch the vibration. I got to switch the vibration. Yo, I'm so excited. I'm gonna get ready to go home. We got a flight at 2 o'clock, so we gotta be at the airport like around about 12. But we got like 5 suitcases, car seats, strollers. Damn. So what I decided to do today, beautiful people, is go back to the basics because it is the first class of 2026. And I figured, I said, you know what? Let me go back to the foundation, go back to the beginning because there's so many new people in our organization. There's so many new people in the classes. So therefore I said, you know what? Let me just teach individuals how I speak, teach individuals how I move, how I trade and things like that. Let me cut that down. So you guys can start really truly understanding that over here in OBG, we're not over here with strategies. We're over here trading market structure. We're trading what the market gives us, and we create safe zones that have very little risk and very high rewards. And that's how we trade it. And people are always saying, well, man, they're over there using machines and AIs. I'm like, no, we're not. We're using market structure, market manipulation, understanding technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and just directly situational analysis. Like, these are the facts. So when you start understanding trading view, let's get to trading view. So if those who don't even understand what is trading view, then this is where you start. Put some H in the chat. Put some H in the chat. If you're new in this class, click the thumbs up at the top. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like, make sure you share, and make sure you drop a comment when the video is over, when class is over. Yeah, I'm saying, what up, Brody? He said, my middle name is AI. What up, Keith? What up? What up? What up? What up? Hold on, man, my screen looks. That's a lot better. That's a lot better. I got my daddy t-shirt on, so y'all don't be making fun of me right now. He packed up all my stuff, and I was like, yo, give me one of my daddy t-shirts. I ain't worn one of my daddy shirts in a minute. I didn't smother that thing. I feel like Nick Farley right now. Big guy in a little shirt. Pop said, is it going to be okay? I said, Pops, it's going to be okay. We swagging in your shirt tonight. Yay, she said, I'm watching from UCLA ER room, Grand Rising. Yo, saving lives. Are you in the ER or are you saving lives in the ER? Yeah, big guy, little shirt, man. Big guy, little shirt right now. Big guy, little shirt in 2026. But I love it though. So back to the facts. If you do not know how to use this right here, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. You're not understanding time frames, daily time frame. Hold on a second. That a little bit too bright. Meow. Daily. Let's go. The 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 30, the 15. Like, if you're not truly understanding those, like, you're in a world of trouble. You're in a world of trouble. So let's talk about gold right now. Let's talk about gold. Let's delete all things. I already have something planned for y'all. I already have this plan for y'all. 75.72 scalp. A 75.72 scalp. So let me say what I want to say, then I'll show you what I just said. Put some fire in the chat if you understand what I just said. Assalamu alaikum, my sister. Let me say that again. Let me just tell you what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do so you can understand both. You can understand both. What I personally like to do is find the highest highs on the day and the lowest lows on the day, whether it's 2-3 day candles past, does not matter. Whichever candle that has the most significant rejection from the bottom and significant rejection from the top of the high of the day or the low of the day. These are the lines where I trap my daily candles. Let me repeat that. From the highest high of the rejection of the daily price, I like to cap it and literally put my resistance, which I call the roof. I like to put it there on the day. And on the second line, which is going to be your support, which is my floor, this is literally the lowest of the biggest rejection where buyers just came in and pushed price all the way back up. So let me explain that. Let me show you that, how we trap the day. I'm going to do it on gold. I'm going to do it on US 30. I'm going to do it on NASDAQ. I'm going to do it on the most common pairs that we all trade. Put some 8s in the chat if you understand, and you game to go on this journey with me right now. And in the meantime, while we're on that journey, we're going to be marking those charts up. We're going to be finding zones where you can buy and you can sell in those zones. If you like to day trade, you like to scalp, you like to position trade, swing trade, whatever that may be, you can take these actual trade ideas. You got it? Let's go. Let's go. So what we have right here, I'm going to reset. So first of all, let me let you see what I have. Let me let you see what I have, okay? Let me delete it so you guys can understand what I said. I like to take the highest high rejection of the day, which I always call my roof. Come on, don't play with the people. Don't play with the people. Daily roof, daily floor. Let's get that understanding. We got that understanding? So that's gold. That's the highest high of the day, as you see. That's the daily candle. That has significant rejection. What do I mean by rejection? That means that candle came all the way up here, and then sellers started pushing it all the way down here, back from $4.75 an ounce, back down to $4,463 an ounce. Can I get some fire in the chat if you just understood what I just said? What I just showed you, new people, is the price of gold per ounce, literally in the last like 2-3 hours, was sitting at $4,475 per ounce and 20 cents. And right now at 6:04 in North Little Rock, Arkansas, Central Standard Time, gold is sitting at $4,463 an ounce. So I say, if that was the highest rejection of the daily roof, if I like to trade the 4-hour, I'm going to see where I want to trade and have confirmation and confidence to retake the sale at 44.75. You understand that? And because we're an organization and we trade zones, because you don't want to just go one number, you want to go into a zone. So we give 300 pip zones or 150 pip zone, depending on how the market is moving. So I say, this is gold. So we give 30 pip zones. You see what I'm saying? So I wanted to say indices, we do 300 pip zones. Gold, we do 30 pip zones. So a 30 pip zone means 4,475. Let me show you. 4,475. And when you see me put these little brackets, those will be the zones. 4,475 to 4,472. I will literally type right above the zone, just like this. Boom, bang. Don't be hating. We in class right now. Don't hate on me. 4,475. Boom, 4,472. Boom. Sell. Go. This is what it'll look like when you're in my class. And as long as you're understanding that language, this is something that I will trade. Sorry for the camera angle. You see, I would literally trade that zone. And let me show you, I wouldn't even trade it from here because now this teaches me patience. So watch this. If I go to the 4 hour, because that's the daily, I trade from the 4 hour. Boom. Watch this. Bang. Give me the 4 hour. Give me the 4 hour. And there's my confirmation. 1, 2. You see that? 8 hours ago, 4 hours ago here, boom, she dropped. Boom, she dropped. So I go, yo, if that candle that is sitting at 4,463 visits 4,475 to 4,472, I believe sellers were coming back into that area and drop the price of gold at least back down to the floor. You see? So you start looking at the floor, it's right there. Buy out. So you start saying, my buy price, 4,427. Look, buy price, 4,427 to 4,030. That's a 30 pip zone, a 30 pip low risk, high reward buy zone from the 4 hour, because you will get rejection from there and you'll get buyers from there. Put some eights in the chat if you understand that right now. You see how simple that shit is? I'm telling you, it's just simple. That is the lowest risk, highest reward way of trading. And that's called patience. That's called discipline. That's called consistency. That's called trading from zone to zone. 100%. Been doing it for 6 years straight. 6 years straight. Got an amazing record. Got an amazing record. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth right now, Gina? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth right now? Gina, put some hundreds in the chat if the light bulbs just popped off. Put some 100s in the chat if light bulbs popped off. So let me show y'all where y'all gonna get confused at. Because on the daily, a lot of y'all, so let me show y'all, that's what the signals will look like. So when you see me in class and after class, I start telling y'all, yo, the sales zone and Wick talk is now active and we are already in profits. And people say, well, I didn't see it in the signal chat, because your ass should have been in class. My signals come from class, just to let y'all know. I am the second best trader in OBG, right up under Alex, in far as giving winning percentages and giving out pips on a weekly, monthly basis. Second best, 100%. Best educator, second best trader, 100%. So I'm telling you, if you want to keep it simple, you don't want to stress yourself out, you don't want to have no anxiety, you can win and lose with these trades. Now, the beauty about trading from zone to zone, if the market decides to break this zone, it is simple. Take the L in the 30 pip range. Look, if you start entering into the zone right here, which will be our aggressive entry, the second will be your modest. If the market just went through this zone, meaning it did not reject here, you take the 30 pip L. Boom. Bang. If she retests anywhere back in here, this is what you would hear me say. Flip the zone, and it is a BCR in the same area that we were just selling. So that goes from a sell zone. Come on. I got fat fingers. To a buy zone. Yesterday, I gave you guys a mindset, and I told y'all number 3 is literally key. After understanding your value, understanding how to lose like a champ. You see that? That's understanding how to lose like a champ. So I'll give you a 30 pip zone where I say, yo, I'm telling the market, like, listen here, I like the price 4,475. I like the price 4,472. So me and my crew, we're going to be sitting in that zone right there. And if you just pass through there, we shorten your ass. We going to short your ass. And if you drop down and give us 50, 60, 80 pips, we're going to take partials. We're going to move our stop loss at break even. And we're going to ride that thing down just in case you want to visit the floor again. That's the mindset. That's the psychology of trading in an actual market that has already an uptrend. It has a current uptrend, a overall uptrend, and you're just trying to find a position to make some money. You trying to find a position to make some money in a $7 trillion market that is moving by the second and people are making decisions all over the world. You trying to find your position. And that's why I always tell people, when you start finding your position in the market, that is your money. Stop hesitating and take the shot. And when you understand your shot is off, then guess what you got to do? As a basketball player, if my 3-point shot is off and I'm consistently missing my three, I don't just keep shooting threes. I get closer to the basket. So versus taking big trades, I take very small trades where I take very small profits. I use very small lot size, and it allows me to run the trade out as maturity. I adjust. I in-game adjust. So versus trying to hit a home run, I just make sure I just get on base. And sometimes you need these little base hit trades to get your confidence up. So when you get in that big boy trade, you on that big boy wave, you already confident. You already surfing. You already then pull profits. You already then took another entry because you was in a drawdown, but you took a better price, and you've already got that early entry out. You got your stop loss at break even on that entry. You then took profits. Now it's coming back to clip you out. You need to make a decision if you want to do it again. You do it again until it breaks that area. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? You do it until it breaks this area. Listen, I take that sale until it breaks this area here. You understand that? Until it pushes through. Because when you look at it, it has to break through this. And once it retests, look at the retest. Look at the retest. Look at the retest. The retest went from here to here. You see that? Let me show y'all if y'all don't understand what I'm saying. Look at this. Oh, yeah. The retest candle, which will literally come right here. This guy could pull all the way through, retest back in, and versus trying to sell her again, that's where you buy her. You see? Now the 475 is your aggressive, the 472 is your modest, and then that's what you banking on. Because look at how many buyers are in this area. Because the last time it flew up from here. Imagine it went all the way down here, but it closed right here. So that lets me know this price line at 4,475, man, they got action right there. You coming over here, you gonna get actions. And if you get under that 4,475, your ass dropping, because it is proven sellers are in there somewhere. But it's also proven that buyers are sitting in here. They're sitting in here. They're sitting in here. So understand this. If it starts shooting down, the reason why you gain your position, take your partials, because there's buyers sitting all in this area. So you can't expect, because you've taken the short, that it's just going to drop all the way down here. Put some fire in the chat if you understand what I just said. A lot of y'all get into these trades and thinking because you press the button that motherfucker just finna drop. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. I wait for the BCR on any time frame depending on the mood that I'm trading in, Nate. So if I'm on the move and I know like, yo, bro, I already got some good positions on NASDAQ or on gold, because sometimes I swing trade a lot. So sometimes when I'm just teaching, I'll be taking scalp trades while I'm teaching just because I'm taking it with the community. But overall, I'll be in positions, you see? I'll be in open positions from Sunday or Monday if I see them, you see, like this. So you're not going to catch me in a better position and just taking a higher risk in a lower position when I already got a higher position. That's how I personally like to trade. Because I teach on a daily basis, I'm teaching day trading. So there's always money to be found in the market. So for an example, watch this. So you see how I'll say, that's your price, 4,475 to 4,472. That is the next thing that is coming if you want to sell on gold. That's 100%. Now, because I know that it needs to go from here, the price 4,461, and I know that's literally like 100 plus pips, I'm like, yo, let me go find me a buy position somewhere. Let me go find me a buy position somewhere. Versus if I don't want to wait for all the way down here from zone to zone. You understand that? So let me put this back where it needs to be. Let me make that red. People don't get confused. So people don't get confused. Now watch this. This is the purpose of people going down to the smaller time frames. Let me get this guy out of here. Bye, y'all. So understand that. That's that retest. That's that retest structure that we said that might happen. So if I'm on the 1 hour now, and now I'm looking for buys, guess where the buy is going to be? Guess where the buy is going to be? This is when you start getting aggressive. You see, this is when you start getting aggressive and you start creating trends and you start going, yo, if this is the current trend right here, you see that? That's a trend. That's a trend. That's if I go straight up there, I go, yo, bro, I only have one touch here. I can count that as like one touch. If you're looking at the 1 hour, you go 1, 2, 3. It touched 3 times right here in the beginning. It touched twice right there. It tried to touch it there. If I take it here and I just say, yo, that's the trend, that only gives me 2 touches. Well, it gives you 3 because you got this one right here. You get 3 touches there. So your next buy, if that's the trend, because you don't want to wait, guess where your next buy will be? Guess where your next buy would be? You will be taking what I call a trend line rejection trade. So you will be taking this trend line rejection right up in here, which is an aggressive trade and which is a higher risk and literally like a solid reward trade. You understand that? Trading from here to here is low risk, high reward. Trading anywhere in the middle is higher risk, like it's still a good reward because you're day trading, but it's just higher risk. You understand that? You understand that, beautiful people? Put some 8s in the chat if light bulbs are literally coming on right now. And this is just gold. I can go down all the way down to the 15 minutes, and you will find money where you can buy and sell in the market. But let me tell you what you guys are going to notice. Just because it's a profitable trade does not mean it's a good trade. If it's not a trade that you consistently are taking in the routine that you take them and as you journaling them and understanding your own routine, if you're not taking consistent trades and being disciplined with your routine, just because you win in a trade is not making you profitable. It's so easy in this industry to get false hope because you're actually winning, but you're not prospering. You understand that? Like, just because you win, that don't mean you're prospering. Learning why you winning, that's prospering. That's like bettering yourself. That's what I want you guys to understand. Like when we give you zones, we're winners. Like we're going to fucking win. We're great traders. So we're going to win trades. Start learning why we give y'all those zones. Start learning why we're holding trades that we're holding. Start learning why we're telling you like, okay, bro, let's in-game adjust in this trade. Like they're pressuring out on the 3. So this zone is aggressive. So let's scoot it back a little bit. You understand? Y'all understand that? When we start saying like, yo, bro, that's a pretty big green candle. That's a lot of buyers. Bro, let's not just press up on that sale. Let's push that sale back a little bit so give it a little room for sellers to really come in. Please show your buy zone again. My buy zone is 44.27, 44.30. Right there. Right there. If you're looking at, this is the hour. So you can see how it'll play out on the hour. You see? See, I call that a one-legged monster. Let me turn the camera around. Put a 1 in the chat if you never heard of what a one-legged monster. You never heard that term in the financial markets. Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you never heard it. I'm gonna break it down and make it simple, make it so simple. Because most people tell you it's order blocks and imbalances and like all of this type of crazy technical shit. A one-legged monster in the market is where the market has touched a price, rejected, and till date has not came back and reset that price, like revisit that price. So it leaves the market on one leg. Let me explain. Y'all see that? That's our daily floor. So the price hit 4,427, which is right here. Boom, that's our floor. That's our actual modest. So if the price hits there, till date has not revisit, That means the market is standing on one leg, meaning right here. Every time the market is standing on one leg, price likes to revisit. Understand that. Put some fire in the chat if you understand that. Price likes to revisit. So let me draw that out so you can truly understand what I mean. Here's where price is at right here. What I'm telling you is price is going to continue to go up. If it does not go up from here, she's going to go back down, give people the buy from the trend line rejection. Boom. Then she's going to work her way back up here to our sell zone. She's going to hit our sell zone because we're cold-blooded. She's going to reject out of there. People are going to start putting all of their stop loss. They're going to take profits. As she starts pulling, we're going to see rejection because this is the trend again. She's going to might reject again, come back up again, and then we take her ass again because she clip us out. And now we take the backside of the trade right up in there. Buy out, and now we get our drop. Not only do we get our drop, but we get a close by right here, which gives us the actual break close retest of our actual trade of structure. Now the market is on the opposite side of that trend. You see? It's on the opposite side of the trend. And now she starts working her magic. Now we're not worried about the sellers over there no more. You got new sellers right here. You see that, beautiful people? So now the market is retesting back up into that structure. And now she starts dropping. Boom. Now she needs to revisit this structure. And this is where she rejects on the right side of the trade. And she'll give people scalp buys because she'll come back up and then she'll start dropping from here and right here. And these are literally just 1 hour plays of me showing you structure. And then she drops. You see this right here? Boom, 2 hours straight. Right into our buy zone. Closes out the one-legged monster and gives us the buy. Boom. Now people say, I don't understand none of that. And I go, watch this, beautiful people. We will go from candlesticks to lines, and it makes sense. You see? That's the lineage. Put some 8s in the chat if you understand. Put some 8s in the chat if you know what I'm doing. What this guy say? Another nerd that thinks he knows what he's doing. Let me turn my camera around. First thing first, I can nerd out. I don't mind nerding out. And just second thing, nerds are cool. Nerds are cool. Nerds are cool because nerds focus on education versus focusing on partying. Third, when someone is educating others and you see them participating, you're the only clown that comes in and use your thumbs and make statements. You understand that? Just that simple. So let's go back to what we were demonstrating while you over there JoJo dancing and looking for attention that I just gave you. So 10 seconds of attention, kudos to you. Here we go again. Lineage of the projection. So you go, okay, now I see it. Put some light bulbs in the chat if you see it. Put some 100s in the chat if you see it. You see, so this is what can happen. But if I'm over here on the 4 hour where I like to trade at, you see? You see? If I'm over here on the 4 hour where I like to trade at, all I have to do is just wait for my zone. You understand that? Because if you start taking buys, that means you're going to be taking buys inside this candle. Because a 1 hour rejection on the trend line on the 1 hour is just going to be literally a rejection on this particular candle. So it's literally jumping into a wave that is already moving on the 4 hour, but because you don't have the patience to wait, you're jumping in a smaller time frame within that 4 hour and making decisions. And when the decision that you're making does not happen in that small time frame, because the higher time frame is prioritized, then you're going to be taking unnecessary L's for no reason, because the trade is not going to mature in time, or give you enough profit psychologically for you to say, okay, I'm satisfied with that trade. You're going to go in and out of profits, in and out of profits. And then finally, you're just going to get exhausted of being in a drawdown, barely in profit. And then you're going to start telling yourself, why the hell is when a candle moves in my drawdown, the direction that I'm not trading in, it just immediately goes $30. But when I'm in profits that way, it doesn't go $30. Put some fire in the chat if you didn't said that already. Put some fire in the chat if you didn't said that already. So let's keep moving. We 30 minutes into class. I hope light bulbs are turning on for everybody. That's 30 minutes. We're 30 minutes in class, and that's your gold zones. You're going to get an open bail. You're going to be trading up in here. Watch what I tell you. Once the New York Stock Exchange open, you're going to be trading from zone to zone, up in the middle of it, because the market is going to move. When the market starts moving, it's going to either give you this or it's going to give you that. You see? This is golden. Watch this. Now let's go look at NASDAQ. This is where the ticker of NASDAQ sitting at right now. This is what she's sitting at right now. Let's go. Oh shit! I already had marked her up. I got you a 300 pip zone right here. And then I'll show you how I got it. That's a 300 pip zone right there, and I'll show you how I got it. $356 to $326. Erase. Boo. Let's go to the day. Remember what I said. Type it in the chat. What do I like to do on the daily? Wherever the daily high has the most significant rejection, that's where I'm going to cap it. You can see this daily candle right here. Let me get my little line so you guys can understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. Y'all see that daily line? That's a daily rejection. That's a daily rejection. That's a huge daily rejection. You see, that's huge. So that lets me know news did that. You see that? Let me say that again. News did that. I'm speaking your language right now. News dropped it like that. You see that? All the way down here. Look. News did that. That's a news candle. That's a news candle. That's a wave that a lot of people wasn't ready to ride because they just had to short it. But then how could you short something that was moving like that? You understand that? So look at the new trend that is also creating on the daily. So there's something right here that is creating a trend. One lower, it's like a lower low, and then it's a higher low. You see how it keeps stacking up like that? So there's something right there that got her coming up. So I go, yo, let me explain to you guys something real quick. Real quick. The market loves making patterns. Can somebody please tell me what pattern you see right now? The market loves making patterns. Can somebody please tell me what pattern you see right now? I love it. I love it. It's clear as day. It's clear as day. So that lets me know. One second. Let's bring it down here. Boom. That lets me know that that's the one-legged monster. That's the one-legged monster. That's a one-legged monster. That's the trend. You see? That is the trend on the daily. That's a daily trend. Boom. You see it? Boom. Now I have my trend line rejection set. If I want a trend line rejection buy, check it out. Bink, bink, bink. That's work. Or I can say, I don't want to scalp against the last leg of a M, because when you have an M pattern already formed, 9 out of 10, it will complete that pattern. So when you're pro-bias, you should not be pro-bias, because overall, she is at the last leg of the M. And when she's at the last leg at the M, she likes to come back down and close one-legged monsters. You see? Boom. We can go back right here. Look, right there. Boom. You can see it right here. It left. Came back and touched. It left. Boom. Came back and touched. It left. It has to come back in touch. So that's the overall play. This is a current play. You see? You understand what I'm telling y'all? You can choose to take the overall play, which is going to have like patience to mature because you're choosing to take the last leg of the M on the daily structure. So that means you have 9 hours and 24 minutes for that whole process to play out and start heading back down. I tell y'all, we're day traders. So we're trading on the 4 hour. Watch the difference. So if I go to the daily, here's the daily like I was showing you guys. That's our overall analysis on the day for people who like to swing trade. Watch this. Boom. People who like to swing trade, position trade, this is where you will stop. You will stop at the daily. People who like to day trade, you're going to stop right here. So I don't like taking the top of kind of like doji looking candles. That kind of symbolizes a doji. That means price ain't really been moving. You got the same amount of rejection at the bottom as you got on the top. So I take yesterday's rejection. You see? Boom. So I took yesterday's high on NASDAQ. I took today's low on NASDAQ, which gives me 25,378. That gives me 25,550. That's your raw analysis. You see? That's your raw analysis. I get to the 4 hour. Look at what happens. Boom. The 4 hour happens. That shows me my one-legged monster. Let me introduce the EMA 200. I'm not going to go into details, but the EMA 200 acts as a magnet. So anytime I see the EMA 200 close to the daily floor, I give priority to the EMA 200 because it likes to slingshot the market. So my daily floor will go from 25,000 to 378 to 25,356, which is exactly where the floor and the EMA 200 meet. I told you guys in the beginning, we give you 300 pip zones on indices. So if I'm going to go from 25,000 to 356, which is right here, boop, bang. I'm going to take it and I'm going to go boom, 300 pips this way. Gives me 226, you see? Bye, like that. That's 26. So now, if 26 is my modest, all I have to do is bring my floor down to my modest, and now I have a 300 pip buy zone on NAS at 25,356 to 25,326, and that's how I got that zone. And I said she's sitting sideways right now, and if she was to go and just continue down like she does on that daily, she's going to come here and she's going to fill this little gap right up in here, and she's going to bounce back up. You see? Boom. And she's going to start seeing rejection right up in here. So you're going to literally I'm going to tell you to the T. Watch this. I'm going to tell you to the T. Boop. That's like 1,000 pip move. That's like 1,000 pip move on NASDAQ. That's like 1,000 pip buy. And you start saying, you know what? I'm just going to start taking my partials, putting my stop loss in profits, and I'm going to make sure, watch this, I'm going to make sure that I secure a position in this trade. This is your stop loss. So if I enter in the trade here, if the trade is already up in here, my stop loss is going to be kind of like in the middle of that zone. As that trade starts breaking this area up in here, my stop loss goes to the 200 of that zone. See the EMA 200, that was the 26. That was the 56, the 356. That's the beginning of the zone. So now I'm enter here. That is closed out, so I no longer have an aggressive entry. I only have a modest entry. Stop loss is at aggressive entry. And now I don't care what this trade does because I've already taken partials. My stop loss is in profit. So if it comes back and clip me out, bloop, guess what we do? We can enter in here, or we can say, hey, that's the daily trend line. Why do I need to take the risk here? Let me look to the left. I also see buyers right here at the trend line. You see? They're right there at the trend line too. So I say, I won't take this again, but if it does not break it, I take it. If it breaks it, next entry is here. That's like calculated losses and calculated structure entering back into the market. That's like, oh man, I got cut, but I'm not finna stop trying to get you. Just because you got a knife does not mean I'm not finna get you. Put some fire in the chat if you understand what I just said. This is NASDAQ. This is Owanda. 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 Ooh, 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 Owanda. Put some 8s in the chat if you understood how I got that zone. So then, like I tell y'all, this is what it would look like. Boop. Boop. 25,000. Boom. 356. That's your aggressive. Bang. 25,000. 326. Your modest. Boom. Buy. NASDAQ. See? Bink. And that would be your play. That's the play. That's the play. Bink. That's the play. Sell zone. Right there. But you can see that the market like to pierce that area. So it's not a safe area. It's worth to try. So guess what I'll say? I'll say, yo, 25,000 to 550 to 25,520 or 530. I'll do something like that. Do like a 200 pip zone. You see? 50 to 30, we'll do 200 pips. You can scalp. You can scalp. You can scalp anywhere in the zone. What do I mean by scalp? What do I mean by scalp? I mean when the market comes in here, pulls in there, and then starts rejecting like how she rejected here, soon she come up out of there and you see your profits, start putting your stop loss break even and start trying to take partials. Soon as she get up out of there, stop loss break even, take partials. Stop loss break even, take partials. She come in there again, take her ass again. Break out a profit, stop loss break even, take partials. She comes back, clip you out. As long as she don't break it, you keep taking it and scalping her 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 and scalping her. Now, watch this. An uneducated individual will never understand that every time you take that scalp, every time you take that zone, you must understand as an educated individual that it gets weaker and weaker and weaker. Meaning, every time you take a broom and you start poking it at the ceiling, which is your resistance, which is your roof. Don't forget that line is the highest price of rejection that happened on the daily candle. So if it hits that line and drop one time, hits that line, drop 2 times, hits that line, drop 3 times, it comes back in there. Every time it comes back and revisit that roof, the roof is getting weak. And now you must understand that you need to lower your risk because the risk is getting higher and higher and higher every time you take that trade. So this comes back into number 4, knowing how to stop when you are ahead. That's the psychology, because not only do I understand that I'm not emotionally attached in this trade anymore because I'm already winning. Number 2, I'm already understanding the value I can receive out of this trade. So I don't need to be jumping on any other pairs trying to lose money to just trying to make some money when I got a Pacific zone over here that the market is not breaking. So I can make my money right here on gold. I can make it on NASDAQ. I can make it on US 30. You understand that? I can make it right there, so I don't need to jump. Now, my number 3 is my risk management. I made money the first time. Boom. And I over leveraged a little bit. So the second time I hit it, guess what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to over leverage. I'm going to lower my leverage because now the risk is getting higher. So if I came in with a 1 lot size, the next time I hit that bitch, I'm going to hit her with 50 cents, 0.50. I'm going to drop half of my risk because I already hit her with the 100. I already hit her with a standard. I don't need to hit her with a standard again. That's like raping the market. You understand that? That's raping the market. And nobody likes to be raped. So what I do is when I hit that thing with a standard and that bitch give me by 200 to 300 or like 500 something pips, man, I take those profits, bro. I snatched those profits. I moved stop loss break even. She comes back and clipped me out. Kudos. Now I'm lowering my risk. And if I see it and I really believe it, I'm not going to go from a standard to a half a standard. I'm going to go from a standard to a 0.75. Then I'm going to let that 0.75 max out. I'm going to take partials from there. I'm going to get clipped out again. Because by the time I get clipped out, I'm getting clipped out with 0.25s, 0.15s, 0.10s. I'm playing with the house. I'm playing with the house. So now she comes back in there again. Guess what? I ain't got 0.75 for her. I got a 0.50 for her. I got 50 cents for you. Now go and give me that 300, 400 some pips with the 0.5. I'll take 300, 500 off of you real quick. She comes back and give it to me again. Guess what I got for her? I ain't got but a 0.25 for her. And I'll keep taking her all the way until I got a 0.5 for her. I got a nickel for you. I got a nickel for you. On indices, a nickel on indices, that'll give you $150 like nothing. 0.05 will give you $100 like it's nothing. $150 like it's nothing. If you know how to ride structure. Put some 8s in the chat if this shit is just making so much sense. So now you understand the zones. Why we give a 300 pip zone and why we give a 30 pip zone on gold, on metals. You see? Like this is why it makes so sense, because it teaches you how to lose like a champ. Now what happens is you individuals, y'all get so fucking greedy, and then you get optimistic and you start saying, man, I got about 4 or 5 entries on this motherfucker, man. I can't be taking an L right now, but it has to come back. Bro, if we telling you, bro, this is as far as we giving it, why you trying to give it extra? This is where listening coming in. This is where following the system comes in. This is where being consistent and understanding that we are a mentor for a reason. We are in your face teaching for a reason. Like I said, I remember you from the mall in Orlando. Bro, hell yeah. Hell yeah. But fuck Orlando Mall. That mall tried to play me, bro. I was in that thing for 5 years. I had a set grandfathered in rent with Simon Properties. I've been with Simon Property almost 20 years. Almost since 2005, I've been with Simon Properties. And then they jacked my rent up. I had 2 locations there. They jacked my rent up. Both locations, I was spending, one location was $8,000 in rent. The other location was $10,000. And I was grandfathered in for like $18,000 no matter what the sales was. They jacked both my rents up to $10,000 a spot and then move one of my booths. I said, you're not going to jack my rent up, move me, and then tell me I'm going to pay more rent. It's not going to work like that. And then he just literally just kicked me out. He just kicked me out. That motherfucker just kicked me out. Like, you're not going to talk to me like that. And he just kicked me out. I said, damn. Within like 72 hours. Within 72 hours. So fuck the Florida Mall. And I still got a location in Kissimmee. So imagine that. But they love me over there. So that's, again, I'm in the retail business. You guys should be liking the live, subscribing to the channel, following up, literally like DMing me. I'm in OBG. We're the number one number one trading organization directly on the globe. There's no hands down when it comes to educating individuals how to fish in the financial market. This is what we do. Not only did I teach y'all for like 48 minutes, but I also gave y'all zones. So imagine your sell zone on NAS, which should be a scalp. Let me tell you, it should be a scalp. But let me show you patterns once again. Watch this. I personally, what you're going to start learning, I like to recognize patterns in the market. Tell me what you guys see. Type it in the chat. You saw an M on the other one. What you see now? Tell me what you see. Tell me what you see. There you're right. There you go. There you go. So now I start saying, yo, this lets me know if I like trading on the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, not only do I have my zone to zone trade, but look at here. This lets me know that the market is trying to complete a W. Boom. Trend line rejection. Boom. Middle of the W. Bang, which is our zone. Sell. This is our buy. If it just literally gives us our buy, comes back down, does not break this area here, literally creates the trend line right there. You see the trend? Gives us the trend line rejection, breaks that floor, you see, and then bounce on that trend line again. Fake breakout, boom, completes that W. You see? Now, that's day trading. You see that? That can happen like like today. Boom. You see? That can happen today. That right there. Now, watch this. Let me get out of the line chart. Now, for patience, if you wanted to trade the structure of the W, you do this. You set your position here. You open an order here, a buy order there. You give yourself a 300 pip stop loss, and you literally put your order at the bottom of the W or in the middle of the wicks, meaning the order will look like this: a 130, 25 to 100, like this. We'll go right there. Buy out. No. Bang. 130 to 25,130 to 25,100. Boom. And you would literally put a buy order there. That's advance. Your stop loss will be right at your modest. Boom. Like that. Buy order there. She comes in, clips out. If she gives you 300 pips in that zone, she clips you out. That's just what it is. But that's where buyers are. That's where buyers are. Like, that's a fact. So I go, yo, if she doesn't give our buy here and she just dies and gives us that, we're going to take all of that pip. Because look at this. Look at this. Look at the trend. Look at the trend. From right here, look at the trend. That's a downtrend. Look at this area. This is what I projected, you see? That's a downtrend. Boom. She's going to follow all of that. Bing, 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 bing. You see? How can I email you or call you off camera? Write my number down real quick. 702-449-4243. Shoot me a text and we'll plan a phone call. I just got freed up out of my cast and I'm free to fly back to Vegas. And after that, I got to sit still for like 5 weeks. So I'm not free to move. I just had a kidney surgery. So you can text me and I will respond to your text with a voice note so you know it's me, and we will go from there. 702-449-4243. Look at that. So not only does it respect our buy, but it gives us a trend line rejection. And remember what I told y'all. Remember what I said. You're going to get 1,000 pip out of that, right? Put some 8s in the chat before I go. Y'all remember how I said you'll get 1,000 pips from that move? Put some 8s in the chat if you remember when I said you'll get 1,000 pips from that move. Watch the 1,000 pips. Watch the 1,000 pips. Stop playing with me, gang. Watch the 1,000 pips meet up with the rejection. Look at that. Look at that. Boom. Oh, shit. Y'all can't even see. Y'all looking at me. Look at that. That's a shit. Let me go back. That's the rejection. I told y'all in the beginning, that smooth will give you like 1,000 pips. If I go straight up to that rejection, look at that. Look at that. That's right there. Stop playing with me, gang. Boom. I don't know why this. I'm telling you, I got fat fingers, y'all. I got fat fingers. We're going to go right there. Buy out and go straight up. Stop playing with me. There it is. There it is. That's your 1,000 pip move. So what that means, when you see that motherfucker going up 700, 800 pips, don't be trying to wait till the thou wow. Take your money. Be already at like stop loss at break even when it gets to the thou wow. And then you can start decision, start saying, hey, I'm going to take partials again. So if it don't break that thou wow pips, Then it's going to come back down on me. So if it breaks it, then I just ride that thing out. Because if it breaks that trend, it's going to be here on the other side of the trend. And it's going to go from like 25,356 to 25,550. Because that's the previous highest rejection of the day. You guys start understanding why it's important to understand the price action of the day when you start selling yourself a day trader. And then you also start understanding why it's important to learn how you're going to trade as a day trader. You're going to be jumping in and out of market. Are you going to position yourself on the daily and play out the day? Or are you going to jump down in those 15 minutes, 30 minutes in a 1 hour time frame and you're going to get funky with it? You're going to be down there doing a motherfucking Dougie. You're going to be getting Dougie in the market. So that means you got to be dunking in and out. You on frontline war of a $7.7 trillion daily market and you trying to get a lick in. That's what happens when you trade on those smaller time frames. If you don't trade like that, guess what you're going to do? You're going to end up going over there and doing binary so you can just jump in and out of market for time frames. 1 minute puts, 2 minute calls, rollovers. This is what you're going to end up doing. Educated individuals position themselves in the market and make money off of uneducated individuals. Uneducated individuals causes consolidation in the market. And when the market consolidates, the bigger the consolidation, the bigger the breakthrough. Educated individuals wait for breakthrough patterns and we trade them. I don't trade in consolidation because it's confusion. I don't do business with confused as individuals. So why would I put my money there as a day trader? Why would I jump in the most expensive market, the most lucrative market where confusion is at? No, break out of there. I don't care if you break up. I don't care if you break down. Whichever way you break, that's where I'm going to go. I'm going with you. You ever heard the term, the trend is your friend? Follow the trend. If she's going down, wait till she retests back where she went from and boom, drop with her. Down, down, down. The market is going down. You see? I love you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome for everybody that is new. This is what we do. And let me tell y'all, y'all got more of me right now. Before, y'all would just get Tuesday, Wednesday. Now you got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and up maybe even a Friday since I'm sitting at home now for the next 4 or 5 weeks. I'm finna go back to my studio. I got a studio in my crib, and I'll be doing live streaming. We finna be getting it in. So you guys got y'all zones, your sell zone, the sell zone. Let me get y'all that sell zone before I go. I got 3 minutes. Let me get you the sales on NASDAQ. 25,550 to 25,530. That's what I gave you guys. 200 pip zone. Scalp sale. Scalp sale. Boom. Just like that. Come on. Yo, my mama TV downstairs and her TV so loud. There it is. Scalp seller in that zone right there. She has to get through this new rejection line. That's a new trend that is being created too. You see, that's a new trend being created. So she can go do a little fake out and then close back up under that new little trend that we created. Let me make that trend line red so y'all understand that's a current trend that's being created. That's an overall trend that is happening on the daily, you see? That's a current trend that is being created on the 4 hour. That's the overall trend. So I'm like, yo, if she's going to play within in that, she's going to give me my W. She's going to give me my W. So I'm like really pro sale versus even pro buys. These are scalps now, you see? That's a scalp. That's a scalp because now I go, yo, if she gives me that sale, comes here, bounces up, I'll take another sale right here. And then this is when you see people like compounding into trades and riding trades down. That's how you compound down. You'll have a sale here, a sale there, and then you buy down here and let her go back and you go, okay, I buy here, I buy here, I buy here, I buy here, and I ride it all the way back up. Sheesh. That's your NAS sale. That's your NAS buy. I don't think I got the US 30, but it's okay. This is your gold buy and your gold sell. Now, let me tell you this. If she comes right here to 4,470, and then she just drops 60, 70 pips, 404,075 is your aggressive. 4,478 will be your modest. And then that's how you play a zone where the market just went close to it, dropped in front of it. And then the next time it comes in there, you got to understand it has more buyers. So your aggressive is too aggressive. So you're for sure going to go in the drawdown. So I take my aggressive and I flip it. Now my modest is my aggressive, and my aggressive, new aggressive, is 30 pips behind my modest. So from 75, it goes to 78. You might not understand it because you're brand new, but what that means is I just chose to say, if price drops in front of my aggressive, which is 4,472, I'm no longer going to keep that aggressive price. I'm going to take that aggressive price and I'm going to flip it 30 pips behind my modest price, which is 4,475. So the zone will go from, let me show you so you can understand manually what it looks like. This is what that would look like. I would take that right there and I would move it like this. Boom. I would take it from down here, 30 pips, to 78 right here. So it'll look like that. I go from here, 30 pips in here. If that candle right here, this candle right here, comes hella close and then just dies, boom. Doesn't activate the trade. It just died right in front of the trade. Like if she just died right here and came all the way down here, I would immediately go, yo, I don't like the 72 no more, 78, 75. If she gets to 75 and she drops at 73, 75 is no longer valid, 78, 81. Boom, like this. This is how you go, she finna drop. I just don't want to get caught up. I don't want to get caught up in the drawdown. So I'll have the patience to go, bro, she dropping like 10, 15, 20 pips before my zone. I'm not finna be aggressive and just dive in her. I'm like, I'm going to pull my zone back and I'm going to wait till she die in my zone. That's how I do it. And that's how I save myself from just jumping into drawdown, taking another entry, closing, taking the L, jumping in again, taking the L, jumping in again. Like, no, now you're self-sabotaging yourself. That's self-sabotage. No, just moves the zone back mental. If you're coming in and it drops before, don't get anxious. Don't get, fuck it all. You missed me. I'm finna jump in that bitch now. No. It's a $7.7 trillion market for a reason. That money dropped because of somebody else's. That wasn't yours. Your money is sitting in the zone that you said you're going to sell at. Take your jump. Take your zone. Take your money. That's it. I don't care whoever. Let me say this clearly. I'm extremely excited to celebrate people winning in this financial market. I'm extremely excited to promote, celebrate, praise, recognize people who win in the financial market. But let's not get it twisted. I only care what's in the market for me. You understand that? So if today the market gives me $300, that's my $300. Alex makes $30,000, that's Alex $30,000. Well, somebody brand new makes $1,900, they made $1,900. I got pom-poms for you. I'm in the market for what's mine. And if I'm dealing with a $7.7 trillion daily market, I only care about what it is there for me. So if my timing is not the same, I didn't stay in the trade. I am not focused as Alex is. I got, like I said, I got 5 suitcases. I got 2 strollers. I got 1 stroller, 2 carry-ons, 3 carry-ons, and literally 2 car seats. I'm going to be scalping if I'm trading going through the airport. You see, like this. So I'm not comparing myself and my victories or my losses to anyone. And that's why you guys got to understand the emotional part of this game is crucial of you understanding what's in it for you. And that's why it's important to know your number. What are you in for the daily? What are you trying to get? What price satisfies you in the financial market? Because rule number 4 of being successful is understanding when to stop when you up. And if you have not even established a stopping point, you're going to overtrade and you're going to take risk that has 0 rewards and you're going to blow your account. This is how you blow your account. How many times have you guys been up, and that one trade blows your shit? You're like, what the fuck? You up all week and one bad trade takes all your shit. That's because you're over trading. And now you got horse blinders on to the risk. You got horse blinders on to the risk. And now you don't see the risk. And now you go, boom, you dive back in. You don't even change your lot size. You make mistakes. You go, oh, fuck, I forgot to put my stop loss. Oh, shit, I got an extra entry. I didn't even want that entry, but I'm a holder anyway. Or when I get back over here and if it closes that entry out, I'm going to close her and you don't close her. This is Self-Sabotage 101. God bless you guys. We're going back to the basic. This is the first class of 2026. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, this is something we do on a daily basis. I'm the leader in OBG. I am literally your number one digital educator in North America, teaching people how to fish in the financial market, explaining how I trade, why I trade, when I trade, and why I'm holding, why I'm selling, why I'm putting stop loss, why I'm jumping out, why I don't like it. You know, it's like this. It's like this. It's like that. Happy 2026, beautiful people. I love you guys. Deuces.